Hey guys, welcome back. This is the 2024 updated list where I compare SafeSport and USAG's banned list and suspended list. In this annual report, I compare improvements and issues with the list and discuss who is on the list and why they may be on the list. First, let's start off with USAG's list. A good thing to observe, and should be expected, is that the post-resolution list has gotten much bigger than last year, and it will continue to increase as SafeSport is getting more support and funding. We've discussed in previous videos that SafeSport was designed to fail based on the goals of viewing thousands of reports in several different governing bodies beyond gymnastics. They were given a short amount of time with low staffing and funds. Now that SafeSport has been established for over 5 years and is growing, we should expect a growth in coach and officials who are put on the list. And remember, I try so hard to pronounce these last names correctly, but I'm always butchering them, so just keep in mind, I'm trying the best I can do. Aaron McKelter was added to the post-resolution list this February of 2024. I could not find any information as to why, but it's interesting to note that he has under a 2-year suspension. Typically, most suspensions are over 2 years. This has been a rather new occurrence to see people on a list for under 2 years. Andrew McGuigar was put on the list April of 2024. I don't know why, but he will be on the list until 2028. Christopher Simmers was added March of 2024. The owner of Unity Athletics Gymnastics has had several complaints of abuse, which may have been as far back as 2018 when the gym had opened. Public allegations from local reports state that he belittled girls during closed practices. One child was told to suck it up after falling and hitting her head and neck with a metal block on beam. Another situation resulted in the removal of an ankle brace because Christopher believed that the child was faking the injury. The coaches also had claims of showing up to events intoxicated and smelling like alcohol. He was also arrested in 2021 for assault unrelated to gymnastics. Roger Walker is the last new one on the post-resolution. What's interesting is that he is stating SafeSport violated his due process rights and filed a lawsuit against the center. I'm not sure what the resolution is, and I'm assuming that it's ongoing since this came out just a couple months ago. Now let's move on to the pending resolutions. Remember, these are ongoing cases that should take a short amount of time to determine a resolution. The oldest people placed on the list are still in 2019, as I've discussed in the past. This includes John Holman, who's recently retired. That's how long he's been on the list. So here's the new people that I have. Jennifer Halleck, and I couldn't find anything, but she resides in Texas. Carlos Harper, and I couldn't find anything, but he may be a successful coach with D1 scholarships. He's in New York. Paul Hingle, I couldn't find anything new, but he did admit to sexually assaulting a 16-year-old in 2005. This abuse happened in Texas, and he is listed under both California and Texas. This can list 2 states if abuse occurred in one state and the person resides in another state. This isn't as common, but has happened in the past. Holly Keith, Iowa. I didn't have anything on her, but she may have been at Chow's at some point in time. Jonathan Mackey. I couldn't find anything. He resides in Ohio. Stephen Maness was found not guilty of indecent liberties with a minor and sexual battery by a jury from charges filed in 2021. There were claims stated that Stephen Maness would touch butts, chest, and groins when spotting. This was from 4 girls who were under the age of 16. Additionally, they were subject to tickling and being pulled over privately to sit on his lap. It was stated that even though he was found not guilty, he refuses to return to coaching because his life will never be the same again. He resides in North Carolina. Larissa Marsh. I could not find anything on her besides Larissa Libby's information. Derek May. There is a website called Voices Carry San Diego. In a recent article, a victim states that she was abused by May. I didn't read or listen to all the details, but it seemed to be very thorough. Christopher Mula. Issues 2 years prior stated that he inappropriately sent text messages to a minor. That is all the information I have. He resides in South Carolina. Eduardo Pozo. I could not find anything on him. He resides in Pennsylvania. Christoph Viozen. I could not find anything on him. He resides in Georgia. Now, on to the newbies on USAG's ban list that we have added since last fall. Brian Blewett. I could not find anything on him. He resides in Kentucky. David Carlson was charged with 2 counts of engaging in electronic communications with or describing sexual conduct with a child. Additionally, it was stated that he encouraged the minor to use narcotics. Jonathan Girard pleaded not guilty to filming minors in a gymnastics bathroom. His fiancée reported finding a minor on an SD card, while police reported finding pictures of 4 children. He resides in Massachusetts. Oscar Alia was charged with 2 counts of engaging in sexual acts with a child following a lengthy investigation into allegations that he sexually assaulted 2 of his students who were around the ages of 14. There was more than one victim, with claims stating that he would play the tickle game and use tactics by acting like a father figure or family member. He resides in Florida. Annabelle Oyola was facing charges of aggravated sexual assault by sexual contact, 4 counts of sexual assault, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. The reports came from a child and occurred in a 6-month time frame. He resides in New Jersey. Sasha Rott had abused at least 2 children in the last 20 years and was charged with 1 count of first-degree aggravated sexual assault and 3 counts of second-degree sexual assault. Lance Spencer was charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse by a custodian and multiple counts of sexual abuse by a person in a position of trust to a child. Abuse stemmed almost 20 years. He resides in West Virginia. Now that we've talked about USAG's list, let's compare USAG to SafeSport. SafeSport has 1 person listed on SafeSport only and not USAG. Shockingly, this is Andrew DuPont Smith, who is listed by the center in USAG bylaws. Since it also lists USAG as a violation, I'm shocked to see that is not on USAG's list since it was added last September. Additionally, SafeSport is missing 2 people on their list. USAG has Derek May and Jennifer Halleck listed under the center, yet the website does not list any of the 2. If they are recognized as violation under the center, then they should be on the center's database. Paul Hingle and Carlos Harper are not on SafeSport, but they should not be since they violated USAG bylaws. USAG has taken corrective action. Now let's reflect on issues that we've seen in the past and give updates. That I know of, 4 people on the suspended list have been here so long that they have since retired. If a resolution was established in under a 2-year time span of being placed on the list, there could have been justice while coaching. This means that if any of these 4 were actually abusing children, up to them voluntarily retiring, it could have been reduced or prevented. These people include John Holman, Richard Mast, Russell Mast, based on their closure of a second gym, and Dan Brewing. Joseph Bowers passed away December 2023 and was removed from the list. We've talked about in the past how some people, like Larry Dutch, have been removed after passing, while others have stayed on the list after passing. One thing that's still lacking is that both SafeSport and USAG are not providing enough information of who's on the list and details on the cases. We still lack a lot of states and cities of where people resided when being placed on the list. For instance, Dominic Frizzell is missing his state and city, yet was put on the list several months ago. There should be no reason why SafeSport is missing his residency. SafeSport seems to update us on details more than USAG does. I repeat, an organization who views hundreds of national governing bodies covers our detailed abuse more than our national governing body does. A national organization who has thousands of reports is more on top of their game for the most part than our national governing body. USAG still doesn't provide a date when people are placed on the suspended or banned lists. The only dates they provide is on the post resolution, and this is only to show how long the suspension is until the date is lifted. USAG still has several people, some who've been on the list since the 90s, with no explanation or residency of why or where the abuse occurred. Their negligence of not updating the list is telling. The biggest issue I'm still seeing is that SafeSport and USAG's lists are still protecting high-end coaching and officials by not listing them. This includes people like Al Fong, Valeri Liukin, Parquettes, and so on. I've never seen them on either list, for the exception of Jack Carter from Parquettes. There is still a lack of transparency with USAG and SafeSport, and it needs to get better. They need to stop protecting these high-end coaches. They need to get better. It doesn't seem to be much of a change with USAG with detailed documentation compared to last year. But there is hope for change that many things may improve over the next year when I compare the lists yet again. So I guess for now we'll just have to F around and find out.